I got some parts. Finally.
Alright, Matt with Matt's HackRods here. As you saw in the intro there, finally got some parts for this old car. I got me a 65 Nova wagon tailgate finally. Sadly it is missing the crank handle, which is not an easy to come by part, and they are not easy to buy, nor are they cheap, but it still has the entire window mechanism inside of there, and actually it still has the window with it too. I'm storing the window in my car because right now it's the safest place for it, but I want to go ahead and kind of tear this thing down, gut it, and use the internals for my tailgate, and I'll tell you why here in just a moment.
Alright, so, quick story time. The tailgate on this car is, 60 years old. You can imagine it's not really doing great. For those of you who don't know, the way the tailgates work on these cars is, like a lot of other cars, the window has to roll down first to be able to then grab the latch to open the tailgate. Well, a little while back, while the car was still running and driving pretty consistently, I was having a lot of issues with the tailgate, like the gear in there for the window mechanism, actually skipping teeth. And eventually started chipping teeth off of the gear. And so you'd have to turn it like 30 some odd times before you'd actually grab some teeth and actually start rolling down the window. And it became a big hassle. So I'd always known that I wanted to at least repair the tailgate so it's at least functioning, because that was the problem, is it really wasn't functioning that well. And I finally got some parts. So you guys are gonna start to see a lot more progress done in this car here soon, because we found a guy actually pretty locally who has a plethora of Nova parts, and I'm making some deals with him currently on some interior pieces for the car, some back seat for the car, door panels, door handles, a new front fender, because as much as it's great having a brownish fender on the passenger side of the car, I'd much rather a red one. Now it's not the same red, but you'll see it later on, trust me. Anyways, what I am saying is we're gonna get a lot of progress done here on this car here soon. I'm hoping. With, certain things kind of coming about, I'm able to make a little bit more money in my job now, and it's allowing me to buy these parts, and this is a very kind person, and he's willing to sell these parts for relatively cheap. So I'm gonna go ahead and tell you guys what I'm gonna do with this tailgate. Alright, so this is the tailgate I have right here. It's relatively clean. It's a beautiful tailgate. Now, my car is 62, so the tailgate itself isn't really worth putting on my car like in its entirety. 65 has very, very different chrome than 62. But what we are going to do with it is I'm going to salvage the parts off of it that I need, and then we're actually going to be able to hang this up on the wall as some nice wall art. So I'm going to go ahead and flip this thing over, lay it on its back. That's why I have the moving blanket here, so I don't scratch it up, because yes, she's a little rough, but you don't want to make it worse than what it already is. It's in good shape as it is now. Keep it that way. So I'm going to go ahead and take these plates off here and here, and this is going to be the first time I've ever actually disassembled the interior or internal mechanism of a wagon tailgate. So you guys are going to be learning along with me how to do this, and we're kind of going to go from there. I'll tell you kind of what parts I need to salvage off of this, and then we'll just dive right into it and start tearing this thing apart. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and start taking this thing apart, kind of getting an idea of what the internals look like. I'm going to go ahead and salvage these hinge arms, I guess. I mean, I don't really know how to explain it, because the hinges are right here. I guess these are maybe just the guides or whatever. I mean, sorry, I don't know all the terminology. I'm going to take out the whole window track assembly, learn how to take it out because I don't know how to do that. Take out the locking mechanism assembly. I'm going to leave the strikers in the tailgate because I don't need the strikers, but I'm going to at least take out the locking mechanism because mine did actually get pretty worn out and it was pretty sloppy, and this one, yeah, this one is way tighter than mine ever was. So I will go ahead and nab that out of this too, and we'll kind of just go from there. Alright, so I'm going to start off by taking these plates off. They're just 4 simple Phillips screws. They're definitely a little rusty crusty, so I don't know if you want to do it, this way, if you just, maybe use the more correct size screwdriver or whatever, but I do it my way. But I have an inclination,
Yep, we're gonna have an issue with some of these screws. Same issue that happened with my tailgate. Over the years, these tailgates kind of sit at an angle on the back of the car, and moisture will get in through the window seal, and it'll tend to sit right here along this bottom lip. Any moisture will, and it'll tend to rust out these bottom screws, and everything up here, as you can see, is still totally fine. But the moisture will sit down here and it'll start to rot out the screws, make the heads, you know, like rust out to where you can't actually take them off with a screwdriver and that sort of thing, which, like I said, is exactly what happened to my tailgate, so I'm not surprised. But I'm gonna go ahead and get this one off. Thankfully, these are slotted, so even if the screw is stuck, I can just slide it off. I have over here a little magnet tray that I'm gonna go ahead and put all my screws in, because you know what? I'm gonna do this right. I'm not gonna lose any of the parts this time, because I tend to lose a lot of parts. Just ask my dad. Oh yeah, that screw was rusty. But yeah, I tend to lose a lot of parts. My dad always told me from the beginning of stripping my car apart, he was like, well, you know, you need to make sure you bag up the parts and label them. And instead of listening to him, I took it all apart and then tried to remember where all the screws went and bag them up afterwards. So then I just ended up with a very large bag of screws. Yeah, I didn't really know where most of them went, so everything in my car is held on with random screws from random parts of the car. But, you live and learn. I'm trying to do it right now, or at least this time. Alright, let's see. Thankfully the screws on this panel came off relatively easy. I mean, it wasn't too bad. Let's see, put these over here. Okay, so that's another thing that broke on mine. You see this clip right here? This clip is what actually holds your, holds the rod for the locking mechanism for this latch right here. And mine didn't have this, or well, it had it, but it had broken off, which meant that this rod was kind of flopping around in there, which is eventually what led the rod to actually getting loose, coming off, and then I ended up having to open my tailgate with a really long coat hanger, because these rods came off of the locking mechanism. See how they slide inward, and they came off, and so I had to stick a piece of wire off of like a coat hanger, geez Louise, and pop it loose from the inside, and that was really fun. That's actually where I first learned how to deal with most of the stuff in this tailgate. So I'm gonna go ahead and take a look at this, kind of try and get my bearings on it, see if I can figure out how to take this apart, because again, I've never done this before, so you're learning here with me. But let's see, there's gotta be, the whole mechanism is most likely just comes out the top. I mean, there's no other way. I see there's one bolt here, there's another bolt in there. Okay, I see 4 bolts, I think, that hold this mechanism in place. And I will say, this mechanism's gear definitely looks a whole lot better than mine does. See, mine's missing a lot of teeth on it, whereas this one's actually substantially better than mine. Let's see if I can, oh man, how am I gonna do this? There's 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts so far for just the window mechanism. And this looks like all I need to do is take this screw off, which that I do know. I do know how to take this apart and take this out, because this is what I had to do with on my car. Oh, come on. Don't strip. Come on. There you go. All right. Let's see. Let's get that out of the way. Yeah, I was expecting that was going to happen. Hold on. I gotta grab that. Well, that's pretty much lost forever. I'll find it later. Not to worry about it right now. But I am a little bit interested on how good this gasket is right here. Let me see. Let me grab something real quick. This little gasket right here, I mean, it's not, let's be honest, it's not too entirely important. It's not, you know, like it's really gonna change the whole function of the tailgate, but if I could save it, I would like to, because the one on my car is pretty much gone. And it's just that one little extra piece that makes the car just that little bit more complete, you know? Come on. There we go, come on. Oh yeah. Come to Papa. Sweet. Yeah, see this little gasket right here is for the slider for your lock. And I mean, doesn't really, it's not meant really for, you know, keeping water out because it's on the inside part of the car, but it is nice to have because it does make it look a lot more complete, you know, having that piece on there. So let's see. Let me go ahead and get the lock assembly off. Or like 1/2 inch, nope, 7/16. Yes, 7/16. Cool. Get these bad boys off. Okay, put these in the tray. So now the lock mechanism, the entirety of the lock mechanism is loose. If I'm not mistaken, there's a little clip in here that holds it to the actual striker. Let me see. Hold on one second. I'm gonna figure out how to get up in here. Come on. Okay, so I got the clip off. Now, if I'm not mistaken, it should just pop out. Again, it's been in here since what? 1965, so I can't imagine that it's going to be too willing to do so. Come on. And you really don't want to get out of there, do you? See, that's the thing, is I can feel it in there. It's almost completely loose. Man, this is a fight. Old cars are always a fight. I'm just telling you. Even when you're trying to do better by them, by fixing them up with better parts, they still want to fight you. Every freaking time. Yeah, I must be doing something wrong here. I know how the clips come off of the lock side, because that's where they busted on mine. There we go. Okay, so I got this one loose. And then same thing on this side. Get up in here and work on these tailgates, did they? I mean, they allowed you like an access hole or two, you know, like right here. But man, they definitely weren't making it easy. There we go.
Okay, so got the latch mechanism off. Yeah, see, I'll show you guys this right here. This clip right here, if you look at it, the pin comes through the backside, and then there's a little notch. If the camera will focus, there's a little notch that these tabs right here sit into, and as you can see how rusty this one is, mine got just as rusty and eventually rusted off and broke. So I'm actually glad that these are in as good a shape as they are. So I'm actually gonna try and carefully take them off, and eventually, there we go, use them on my car. Because I don't remember exactly how I fixed mine. I don't think I did it the right way. I don't think I did mine properly. I think I just fixed it the good enough way and called it good from there. I think I used some other type of clip or something. I don't remember. But yeah, having these extra clips of such a specific part are always beneficial. But man, it is a pain to get these lock rods or these rods out of here. And I must be doing something wrong. Or maybe they've just been on here since 1964 and or 1965. They don't want to come off. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and fight with this for a few minutes. I'll bring you guys back in once I get them off, if I get them off. But we'll see. I got those rods out of the way. There's not much left of them, but like these little clips, these clips pretty much almost broke, but I'll go ahead and try and save those. This is a random screw from something. I don't know where that screw came from, but I'm gonna go ahead and put it in the pile. I'm just not gonna question it. All right, I'm gonna put the mechanism there for now. So one other thing I want to see is this is the, I don't know if the correct terminology is torsion rod, but it uses the torsion base of physics, the twisting of this rod to add some rigidity to the lowering and raising of the tailgate. Mine is super worn out. My tailgate just kind of drops and it's really violent. So I'm wondering if this torsion rod has a little bit more tension than my tailgate does, and I'm hoping it does. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this guy out too, because I'd like to try and use this on my car as well. I mean, I know it's blue, which kind of sucks, but honestly, I won't care. And if anything, I'll just paint it black. Yes, I know my car is not black, but black hides a lot of things. So I'm gonna go ahead and hope and pray that I get these screws off. Oh my Lord. I am surprised that those are coming off. Oh, and you guys may be asking why I'm not using like an electric impact or like a DeWalt or a blah blah blah. Firstly, these screws are sensitive and they like to strip out, and I'd much rather be able to only use my strength to break the screws loose and not use the extra strength of something like a DeWalt and then just strip the head out immediately. I want to give these screws a chance to actually work. So that's why I'm doing it this way. I've always felt that it works a little bit better. Yes, it's a little bit harder to get them loose. I understand that, but I tend to strip out the head more if I use something like a DeWalt. So, yeah, let's see. I've never taken this bar off, so I'm gonna kind of learn. Looks like there is sealant blocking some screws here. Maybe screws. Oh yeah, some crusty old 1964 sealant. Oh yeah, that's nice. I'm gonna go ahead and get me a larger screwdriver for that because, yeah. All right, bigger screwdriver. Let's see if this works. Woohoo! Oh yeah, no, these aren't coming off anytime soon. Oh, nope. I'm just gonna end up stripping these things out if I'm not careful. No, I'm not trying to take it off. I'm just trying to clean out the actual screw head itself. Let's see. Yes, I know I'm using a larger flathead, but sometimes it works. I don't know if I even have a Phillips that large. Alright. Gonna pause on getting the torsion bar off right now. Just gonna wait on that. See if my dad has a bigger screwdriver sitting around I can use. Now, the part that I've probably dreaded the most is gonna be fighting this window mechanism out. And kind of just hoping that I don't break something, because that's always a very legitimate possibility with these cars. So, let's see. These are 7/16. Cool. So you guys, if you're taking notes here, which I doubt you are, but if you're taking notes, looks like there is four 7/16 4 7/16 bolts pulling the window track mechanism on. So far. That's at least what I see so far. Okay, so I got this. Thankfully they're relatively short bolts, so you're not really having to fight them. Like, but see, this is what I mean. They've just made access holes. It's still difficult, but that hole, this hole right here, literally sits right above one of the bolts, and then this hole right here sits right above one of the bolts. So they knew that you were going to try to be taken apart, so then they were going to make it easy for you. Also, sorry you can hear rain in the background. I'm recording in a metal shop with like no insulation, so sorry. But you gotta do what you gotta do. We'll just basically make this like an ASMR video of, like, you know, rain on a tin roof, because that's basically what it is. Are you kidding me? Oh, I went and threw this bolt right in the magnet tray, which all the other bolts stuck, except this one, and it went and tried to bounce into oblivion to where I would never see it again. Also, the rain is getting louder, so I might just have to talk louder. You guys are just gonna have to accept the audio quality is not gonna be that great, but I'm just gonna continue working on this. So yeah. Got it out. That was easier than I expected. I mean, even though it didn't look like it. I tried to go out the top. Out the top is obviously not the answer. Just go out the giant holes that are right in the middle. Doesn't that make more sense? Well, okay.
Okay, so I got the window mechanism out. There's the tension spring for the mechanism itself to help, raise and lower the window. And honestly, yeah, these gears, that where they mesh is still super, super, super tight. And I do not see a single missing tooth along this whole gear assembly, which honestly makes me really happy because it's gonna make it so much nicer. All right, here, let's wind it all the way. Oh yeah, these teeth still look absolutely perfect. Man, this is still nice. Pretty cool. All right, well, if you came here, the rain's getting worse, and I'm kind of running out of time for the day. So, what you guys are going to see next, I don't know if I'm going to do another video, or I'm going to do the same video but record it at a different time. I'm going to take the tailgate off of my car, strip all the parts off of that one, and put this mechanism in that one. But, right now, the rain's getting a lot louder, you guys aren't going to be able to hear for much longer. So, yeah. Alright, I got the window mechanism out of the tailgate, like I said. I'm going to go ahead and record the rest of this video in time lapse because the rain's getting too loud for you guys to hear me anyways, and it's obviously going to be the boring stuff. I'm going to go ahead and take these arms off, or at least try to. I'm going to get the window track, the actual track out, because it seems like the seals on this one are a lot better than mine, and my window rattles really bad because of that. So I'm going to go ahead and take the window track out of this too, and yeah, I'll show you guys that process through time lapse because again, you can't even really hear me out here. So yeah, enjoy the video. Alright, day 2 in the shop. Day 1, we took apart the 65 Nova Wagon tailgate. Day 2, I'm going to go ahead and take the tailgate off of my car, my 62 Nova Wagon, and swap the parts over. So I took the window track assembly out of the car. Yes, I took this entire thing out of the old tailgate. And so a few odds and ends, I took out the window felt tracks, and I also took out the locking mechanism, among some other things. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys kind of the situation of where the tailgate is sitting in my car right now, kind of how hard it is going to be to get it off, and then I will go ahead and just kind of start taking that one off, get it up on the bench, and we'll go from there. Alright, so the shop is a little bit of a wreck right now. Apologize for that. Currently, that's where the back end of the car is sitting. She's kind of tucked up in there. I got tons of odds and ends and parts in the back of the car, and there's not really a lot of room in there to record. So most likely I'm just going to go ahead, take that off, and kind of bring you guys in afterwards and bring you back in when I start to actually strip down the tailgate. But I just thought I'd show you kind of how much fun of a challenge this is going to be just to get this tailgate off. But, I'll make it work. So I'm going to go ahead, get this tailgate off, and I'll bring you guys back in once I've gotten it off. Alright, so, as you can see, I finally got the tailgate out. And as you may hear, I'm kind of out of breath because it was one heck of a fight to fight it out of that tiny little area. And of course, old cars being old cars, always wanting to fight you. I had to deal with multiple strip screws and seized screws because they're rusty, and then I had to deal with the torsion bar trying to kick me in the leg. So that was fun. But I can show you guys right here exactly what I'm talking about. First of all, my lock broke out a long while ago. And if you look, this can just keep spinning without it really doing much. And it's only right about there maybe that it catches. Oh, no. No, there. See, now it's catching. And you see how I'm trying to roll it back down, and it's not rolling back down. See that? So, yeah, that's part of my issue that I'm dealing with. See, now the window won't go back down, of course. But, yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and get this thing up on the bench, up over there, and then start stripping it down. Alright, so here's my tailgate. It's pretty rough, I'll be honest. But I kind of like it because it tells me this car was actually used as it was intended. She's got a few pretty decent dings and dents here. I mean, I probably, if I'm going to be gutting this thing, I might as well try and, you know, smack these out just a little bit, make her a little nicer. But this old girl was definitely used. I will say that. She was definitely used a lot. So first step is I'm going to try and gently take the glass out of this, which I've never done before. So if you can't tell, I haven't done this before, like I said, so some of you may be yelling at me of how to do this the right way. I don't know the right way. So be patient with me. I gotta figure this out. Alright. Let's take a look at here at what I am missing. Because honestly, I don't know. And now, of course, remember that issue I told you about where, like, it doesn't roll up or down? I'm kind of stuck here. There we go. Okay, good. Okay, we're not screwed yet. Only partially screwed. Okay, so that's obviously not the way to do it. So I'm gonna flip her up the other way and see if I can go from the back. Oh man, I didn't make these tailgates light. Good enough. Okay. Are you stable? You good? Okay, cool. Sorry for taking this panel off. Man, I'm out of breath. This tailgate's whipping my butt. This thing is heavy. Oh, how I've been here before. If you don't remember, like I said yesterday, I've already taken this whole panel off before, and if you can't tell me, I repainted it along the interior of the car, but anyways, I took this panel off to deal with the lock mechanism that had been screwed off, or had become unscrewed, and because of that, it also allowed the play in the lock mechanism for the rods to then come off, and then I had to open my tailgate with the coat hanger. So I'm gonna go ahead, fast forward through this part, and get all these 35 screws off. All right, got all the screws off. Let's go ahead and peel this little girl off. Even though I've already taken this panel off, the old adhesive was still pretty sticky, as you can tell. So when I screwed it back on, it actually resealed itself. Surprisingly. There we go. Ignore the backside. I only paint the front of things. I only paint what people see. So yeah. I might have actually resealed this. I don't remember. It was a while ago that I took this apart, so I can't remember. But I think I might have resealed it. I don't know. Anyways, we'll go ahead and set this off to the side for right now. Alright. So. Either my tailgate has had the bolts changed from someone taking it apart before me, or the 65 has had the bolts changed from someone else taking it apart, or the 65 62 are just that different. Because if you remember, the 65 tailgate had Phillips head screws holding these panels on. Mine has little, like, 5/16, 3/8, whatever size screws, I don't know, small screws. And I'm not going to bother going to find the right tool for it because I'm lazy. So we're just going to go with this tool. You do what you do, and you do it however you want. That's the way I see it. This is my tailgate, and honestly, now that I have a brand new set of screws, a brand new set of screws from the 65 tailgate, I might actually just use those and replace them with Phillips screws. Replace these bolts with Phillips screws. It's actually something else I noticed too. I just realized. Let's see. Oh no, they're actually the same. I forgot, only the bottom ones are actually slotted, so you can loosen the bottom ones, take the top ones out, and just slide the panel off. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and get these guys loosened and take these guys off. And so at this point, you're thinking to yourself, there's got to be a better way he can do this. Yeah, there probably is. But then there's just my way of doing things. I like to make things more difficult for myself, if you can't already tell. There's that one. Yeah, see the clip is, remember that clip I was telling you guys about? Clips on this one, but I can already see it's missing on these other two. Because there's one clip on this panel, I think. Oh, no, yeah. Okay, so that proves the point right there. Look at this. Remember I was telling you about those clips that hold the locking rods in? Yeah, you're supposed to have two on each side that kind of locate where that rod's supposed to go to kind of like guide it properly, you know? Yeah, 3 out of the 4 are missing. So that proves the point. Would also explain why, if you look, how much play I have in this before it's actually doing anything. Because those rods aren't, sorry, those rods aren't in the proper place, which is fun, but it's all right. Why I'm doing this is why I'm doing this work is because I want my tailgate to function properly. Because I'm sick and tired of my tailgate not working. Because when I got the car, it was working, but for some reason my car just decided to stop working. Because that's what old cars do. They like to kind of screw you over. But you know, we won't get into that. I have mixed feelings about this car, and you can't tell. I love old cars, but you can't love old cars without hating old cars at the same time. Because you love them because they're old cars, they're classic cars, they're beautiful, they're pieces of artwork, and you can, you know, always find something new to enjoy about them. But at the same time, you gotta kind of hate them because they always, and I mean always, put up a fight. They will always fight you. Even when you're trying to do things the right way, they always still try and fight you. Okay. Yep, both the clips are missing on that one too. Nice. So, how do I get the window out of this? I I really don't know. I'll be completely honest. Let's actually just take these out because I'm gonna place them anyways. See, something tells me that there's like there's a slot right here, and if you remember from yesterday when we were working on the 65 tailgate, there's holes in here in this tailgate for access points, like to tell you, hey, you know, if you need to get to a bolt, here's your access hole, you know. So that slot right there, don't drop that on the vest. That slot right there tells me it might have something to do with the glass, but I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Cause, oh, let's see. Let's see. How is this held in? Aha! Told you, that slot has a purpose. There's 4 bolts that hold the glass in, apparently. I've come to figure that out. Let's hope we don't drop this stuff. Oh! Woohoo! That's sketchy as ever. Okay. My point remains proven. There's access holes in this, right? You got 2 bolts right here that hold the bottom rail of the glass in. And then you have 2 bolts right here, and this slot that I was mentioning, there you go. That slot takes out the other 2. So, I'm going to go ahead and go get my ratchet real quick, because I left it over at the tailgate. Alright, let's go ahead and get these bolts off. I want to try and actually save this glass, because I'd like to have spare sets of glass, because you never know what happens. And, you know, originally you'd be like, well, you know, you'd hope you don't break the glass. But that argument is the same issue I had where you would have hoped I didn't wreck the car. Yet here we are, I wrecked the car. So, with my ability to break things, let's save both panels of glass. Oh, man. And I can almost guarantee you, yep, these have not been out since 1962. Oh yeah, those beautiful grinding noises. Well, frick, that's gonna be a problem. I don't have extras of these bolts, and that one just snapped off. Alright, let's go for round 2. Okay, place your bets. Is this one gonna snap off? No, actually, this one's gonna be perfect. Just come out as if it was brand new. That's freaking great. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna do now. Yeah, because the 65 parts, these rails right here that hold in the bottom of the window, yeah, they're not on the 65 stuff because someone already took the window out. Now, they might still be on the window. I have to go check. I don't know if maybe somebody bolted these back onto the window. Oh, all right, that one came out. Okay, we're 2 out of 4 for ones that came out. I'm not looking hopeful for this one, so it's pretty crusty. Oh yeah, just gotta enjoy those sounds. Okay, 3 out of 4 came out. We busted one of them. That's alright. They were pretty crusty. Alright, so these are the rails right here that I was talking about. They hold in the actual glass channel. So, gently, and I mean with the precision of a surgeon, take those off. There we go. Now this is the one thing I'm interested in. Let's see, I'll go ahead and bring you guys in on this and show you what I'm talking about. Alright, so this is what I'm looking at right here actually, is these little rollers right here. These are the rollers that slide inside of this, and they're actually what give the tailgate, I hate to call it tension, but almost a smoothness or tension to it. You see how just absolutely worn out those are? Let's see how bad the 65 tailgate ones are. Oh yeah, see, those are gonna be nice. That tailgate was a good purchase because these rollers have very little play compared to these rollers. So, that's good news for me. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put you guys back up there and gonna watch you tear down the rest of this tailgate. I'm gonna go ahead and actually, let's see. Okay, I'm gonna lift the tailgate like this, maybe. Oh, that's a bad idea. Okay. With the precision of an expert surgeon, I removed the glass and I didn't even crack it. Sweet. I really thought I was going to break it there. Alright, I'm going to put this in the car real quick so I don't break it. Alright. Upon further inspection, when I went and put the glass in the car, the 65 tailgate glass still actually has that bolt that I broke off. So, I'm in luck there too. Man, it must be my lucky day. It's practically Christmas for me. Shoot, that's freaking awesome. Alright. Well, let's just go ahead and start the teardown of this tailgate and start swapping parts over. Because, honestly, you can actually see how chewed up the teeth are on this tailgate. Or on this tailgate, sorry. And how bad these rollers are. This is going to make my tailgate function like brand new. Alright, so we lost the other one of that yesterday when we popped it off. Let's try not to do that again today. There we go. Okay, I actually caught it this time. Good job. Alright, so got that off. Start the same process. Get these lock mechanism bolts out. These bolts, thankfully, are going to come out easier because they've already been out. So, oh, well, this is. If I remember correctly, I had to do some sort of funky repairing to this thing because when it broke, it broke real good. So, let's see here. It's time to get up and dirty in this thing. Oh, and today I actually brought a flashlight because I'm not a dunce when it comes to this. I forgot yesterday that I even, that flashlights exist. So I was struggling to see. Okay, got that one off. Oh yeah. I knew I did some sort of weird repair to this thing. So I had the issue where those little like C-shaped clips, I guess, busted off, and one of them either, I don't remember if it just disappeared or if it broke, but basically I couldn't fix the tailgate, or I couldn't put it back together because I didn't have that clip. Well, funnily enough, trim nuts, or like bag nuts, like these guys right here, these little badge nuts for like chrome on the side of a car,
apparently, I got lucky. And they actually thread on to the end of these rods. I mean, thread on, but they thread on enough to actually hold it. And that's actually what kept my tailgate together. Let me check this against the one off the 65. Make sure they're the same. Huh. Wait, let me make sure I'm orienting this properly. So that would explain... that would explain why mine's as loose as it is. If you... I'm sorry, I'm just laughing at this. You look at mine... Oh, there's another clip. Yeah, this thing's falling apart. It's old. But if you look at mine... It shouldn't do that. Again, you look at the 65. Do you notice anything missing at all between these two? They're basically the same, right? Yeah, that would make sense. Mine's apparently missing a screw. Or, I mean, a spring. But otherwise, these look the exact same. Yeah, they're the exact same assembly. And mine apparently was missing a spring that, if I'm not mistaken, when I first took this thing apart, I never remember there being a spring on it. So I think the spring might have just rusted off over the years. I always wondered what that hole was there for. Look at that. Look at that snap. It's like brand new. Huh. That's actually pretty sick. Alright. So, if you remember, when I went to go take these rods off yesterday, I might or might not have mangled the ones in there. I might or might not have mangled them. And so I want to try and actually get these off this time without mangling it. But I want to try and get them off this time without mangling, but I don't know if that's actually possible, so we'll see. Because... do I even need to take them off? Hold on. Can I just move them out of the way? Aha! I can just move them out of my way. Wow, I'm really not that bright sometimes. You live and learn. I told you guys, I don't know how to do this. This is the very first time I've ever done this. Like, stripped it apart this much. So, you're learning along with me here. There you go. You just take the rods out the front, leave them hanging there, and problem solved. Alright, so, the other thing that, let's see. The other thing I want to take out, that I took out of the 65 tailgate, was these window track felts, because these ones are in way better shape than mine. Mine are non-existent anymore. My felt is years and years and years and years and years and years since gone, which made it to where when my window was in my tailgate while you're driving, even with the window up or down, you could hear it rattling in there because those felts help with the vibration, help hold it firm in its track assembly, and mine are long since gone. So, I'm gonna go ahead and swap those out too. Oh. Man, they have plastic washers on these and everything. Man, they did this thing up nice. Alright, let me go ahead and get this one off. Oh, just for those of you asking, because I don't think I showed it in yesterday's video, to get these window felts off, there's two 7/16 bolts on the side of the tailgate that just screw in and hold these tracks on. And if you look, yeah, you can see the difference here between the two. The top one's off of mine, bottom one's off the 65. You can see how much thicker the 65 is. It's going to make it to where it runs a lot smoother up and down in its track. But, alright. You guys have already seen me do the rest of this. I'm going to take the window mechanism out, and I'll bring you back when I get the window mechanism out and kind of get a damage report on how bad the teeth are, and kind of once I figure out what the actual issue ended up being. Alright, I thought I'd bring you guys in here and give you a little look at the window mechanism that came out of my car. This is exactly where my issue is happening. If you look at
these teeth right here, these teeth are relatively normal size, right? But if you start to get up here, all the teeth right here are either broken off or way, way worn down beyond their normal size. Like, see, the teeth are supposed to be nice and sharp, like that. And over here, yeah, no, they're not. So that's definitely part of my issue of why this thing hasn't been doing what's supposed to be doing. I also think there's something rubbing here that maybe it shouldn't be. Maybe the gears are misaligned because the other window mechanism doesn't look like this. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look at that too, but I'm going to go ahead and prop this back up and well, I also figured out part of the reason why the window mechanism hasn't been working as well as it should be and why my lock actually ended up falling out of the window mechanism. It looks like this thing, at some point, I don't know exactly how this was supposed to sit on here. Something like that. You know, something like that, I think, or something like that. Anyways, pieces of it are sitting in there. So apparently this thing busted off at some point while I was using the car and broke that off. So that also makes a lot of sense why I was having a lot of issues and also why the lock mechanism ended up coming out of the tailgate too. So, yeah. Well, I'm going to go ahead and kind of brainstorm some ideas of how to fix this and see what I can do because I don't have a spare tailgate assembly, or I mean spare crank handle assembly like this. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look at this and kind of go from there. So, there is one minor thing that I'm going to try and fix. If you look right here, you can see, maybe you can't, right there, there's a notch in there. If you look at this handle, you see how it's loose? Well, this handle, the way it's supposed to work is when it goes up into like the storing position or when you're not like directly cranking anything, this is supposed to latch into here and use spring tension to hold this. If you look, there's a notch right here that rod is supposed to sit into when you want to put the handle up so it doesn't fall back down. And obviously my spring's missing on there, which means whenever I'm driving, you can set it like this when you're done, but whenever you're driving, it just does that. It looks like my car's tail's wagging. As cool as that may seem, I'm going to try and fix that too. I have some things to look at trying to do. I have a spring right here that I'm going to try and see if I can cut this and maybe use this and try and wind it around that and see if I can use the tension of that to do what I need to do. Because, I mean, I would like it to have some serious tension on it because it's really, really annoying when this, you know, $400, $500 window crank assembly likes to fall and dangle and beat itself up because these are not easy to fix, or are they easy to find, or are they cheap? So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and try and kind of brainstorm some things, see if I can figure out how to fix that, and I'll bring you guys back in after that. All right, got it figured out. If you look, no more floppy handle. So if you look, I got that spring wound up around that little tooth. And it's not, you know, absolutely perfect, but it's about as good as what I need to do. So you pull it out, and it snaps back into place, which means, if you look, see how that hits right there? You pull it up, and it slides into that notch I showed you. And look at that. I know you can buy the right spring for it, but why not just make your own? Because springs do spring things. I mean, they're all pretty much the same if you do it the right way. But, so now it stays tight. So one problem gets solved, a couple more to go, figure out how to fix the broken off piece on this tailgate. So I'm gonna work on that here in just a minute. I have something a little, let's call it sacrilegious, planned to temporarily, until I can one day afford a new one, fix the window mechanism on the car. Don't do as I do. Don't do as you see me do. Do better than me. But right now,
I got to get this thing back together. And to me, this is going to be the best way to do so. Now, is it the best way ever? No. Is it the smartest way? Definitely no. Is there probably a better way? Yes. But is there my way? Yes. So, here's what I have planned here. This little piece right here is supposed to somehow be attached like that. And when you turn the handle, this turns the T-piece on the window mechanism. I don't have an incredibly great way to do this at all. And this isn't my preferred way to do this. So we're just gonna make things work. Why? Because that's just how it's gonna have to be. So, I'm gonna check something real quick. But the idea is I'm gonna send a self-tapper straight through the side of this, through this mechanism, through that mechanism, linking the two together and therefore solving my problem. Hopefully. We will see from there, but I'm gonna take a look, make sure I at least align it properly. Because the best thing you can do if you're gonna commit some sort of hackery, the best thing you can do is at least do it right. So let's go all the way this way. So what I'm gonna probably want is probably gonna want it to sit this way maybe, or this way. Yeah, we'll do it that way. I don't want to do it this way. Trust me, I really don't. But when you got no better option, you got no better option. So I'm gonna just send her home with a self-tapper and call it good. Hold on, we'll be right back. How about we do this a little smarter? I mean, if any of this is smart in the slightest. Really? You're really gonna do this? Told you, these old cars just fight, fight, and fight. Woohoo! Okay. I don't want to do it this way, but I gotta do it this way. So, just gonna call it good. Just gonna pretend I'm not doing it like this, and go from there. Because right now, I don't see a better option.
Okay, so I at least have that marked. Come on. Almost there. And again, don't do it like this. This isn't the right way to do it. But for right now, it's the best way I can do it. Oh man. Sorry I have to do this to you, car. Trust me, it may look like I want to do this, but I really don't. Oh man. This hurts me a lot, more than it may seem. See if I can just find a small screw. Wonder if something like this might work. Okay, so this looks like it'll work, but I need to get like a little washer or something to feed in there to kind of take up some of the space. Oh man, this whole thing's a wreck, but you know what? It's too late now. We gotta do it.
Look at that. Just like new, we have a brand new tailgate. Window crank assembly thing. It's not great, but it's gonna do what I need it to do. And I can't afford to buy a brand new one anytime soon. So we're gonna call that good. All right, so now here comes the funnish-ish kind of sort of part. I'm gonna go ahead and try and take this mangled and put back together thing and try and, well, put it back together. But I don't know how well that's gonna work. Of course, got to take this out first. My beautiful handmade craftsmanship here. And just set that to the side. Take this. Find the nut that goes on it. And try to get it threaded on. Just like that. And then, if you remember, let's see, wherever I put it, the other piece came off as a stud, like that. So now I gotta try and feed that stud through there. Like that. Tighten that. Tighten that. Get it out. So now let's see if I can get this piece to screw back in. Working with limited visibility here, so. Ah, man, lost my washer. Hey, look, a random nut. Nice. Man, this is a pain in the butt. This is old cars for you. Let me just tell you, all of this thing is always a fight. So, let's see. Let's try that again. We'll see though. Don't know how well this is gonna work. But it's too late now.
This might not work as I intended. Oh man, I'll get back to you guys once I figure this out. All right, I'm gonna show you guys kind of what I kind of figured out here. I don't know how well you're gonna be able to see in there, but I was able to get that piece back in there, screw it down just enough. It's tight enough to work, I think, and I think it's gonna work just good enough for now. And we're gonna call it good there. I'm gonna go ahead and set the time lapse up and just let you guys watch the rest of me reassembling the tailgate. You guys are going to notice a little bit of difference from the rest of the video clips in the video. I finally have some new recording equipment. I'm using a GoPro Hero 7, and that'll be all the video content from now on will be on that, hopefully to help the quality in general. I'm going to go ahead and finish up with the wagon tailgate for now because I got it put back together like you guys saw, but if you can see right here, the glass isn't properly aligned in the slightest. So I'm just gonna have to bother taking the whole thing back apart, tearing all the parts back out, messing with the alignment on it and doing all that stuff, and I guarantee that you guys don't want to see me do that again. So I'm gonna go ahead and call it quits for here, and I will kind of just show you guys in the next video what I ended up getting done with it. Anyways, go ahead, like, subscribe, and share, and I will see you guys next time.